Have you ever had an experience that felt so real, it changed your life forever? An experience that made you question everything you thought you knew about God and the world? I know what you're thinking. These things don't happen, right? But this was different. This was an experience that I will never forget. I'm not going to tell you the whole story in the introduction, but I will tell you that it's a story about faith, hope, and love. It's a story that will stay with you long after you've finished watching the video. So, if you're interested in hearing a story that will challenge you and inspire you, then please stick around. I promise you won't be disappointed. Thank you for watching. Hi, I'm Daniel from Toronto, Canada. I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to share 2 rapture-related dreams I had. After learning about the rapture and hearing various perspectives, I asked the Lord to show me what it all meant. A few weeks later, I had 2 direct dreams. The first was on February 1, 2023. When the Lord sends me dreams, He takes things, places, or people from my childhood that I have good memories of and illuminates them. A sense of peace also follows. In this dream, I was with a childhood friend with whom I had many good memories. We were back in the building where we grew up and went into his apartment. It was immaculate. White marble everywhere, with streams of gold, pillars, and a large white table. A bright light also filled the room. He, his siblings, and I were all laughing and joyfully waiting for the feast we were about to have. I was then taken to another part of the dream from an observational point of view. I was in the lobby of a banquet hall where a wedding was happening. Guests were coming out of the banquet and taking pictures. All were dressed in white. Some were with family, spouses, or friends. They were taking pictures with 2 white doves, and I knew in my spirit that these doves had significance and were being treated delicately. After taking their pictures, they walked to the exit, which was a bright white light. There was a line drawn down the middle of the banquet hall, and parallel to it was something horrific. The other section had a dark presence. Everything was red and black. The atmosphere was very sexual, and people were performing all types of immoral acts. Some of the men were dressed like women, and some of the women were dressed like men. Others were wearing strange outfits. Some of the people were terrified of where they were, and some wanted to stop their acts but couldn't. People were coming into this area from a separate entrance, but they couldn't leave or go over to the wedding side. I started to see black shadows running around the people, influencing them and sinisterly laughing. My eyes were then directed to an old theater-like balcony, and in my spirit, I was told that this is where people of power sit and watch the chaos. I took some time to decode the dream days later, and I was led to a few scriptures and Jewish customs concerning weddings in my research. The Lord called me to do a 3-day, 3-night fast, only drinking water. When I started my fast and prayer, I asked the Lord for a visual experience with Him. I carried on with my day and completely forgot about my request. That night, I was snapped out of a random dream. Suddenly, all I could see was white. I noticed I was walking and talking with a man, and slowly my sight started to come back to me. I looked down and saw feet in sandals and a white robe. In my spirit, I instantly knew I was with Jesus. I started shouting and freaking out in excitement, "You're Jesus. Oh my gosh, you're Jesus." He started to laugh and smile as I came to the realization. I could only see his face from the nose down, and I could only look at it for a few seconds at a time because there was a bright light coming from it. As we were walking, I felt an overwhelming peace and nothing else I knew mattered. I also felt in my spirit that he knew everything about me, but only had good things in mind. I was rambling off many questions to him, and he would laugh or smile in moments of our conversation. All of a sudden, I heard him say in a stern voice, "It's time." I asked, "Time for what?" As he walked ahead of me to a door that opened out of nowhere. We were in my city. It was night. I called out to him as he was walking ahead as if he had a mission. I started to hear what sounded like cars honking, crashing, and people yelling. I noticed everyone looking up at the sky. It then got quiet, and I saw what looked like shooting stars leaving the earth and going towards the sky. A woman shouted, "God is coming." In my spirit, I knew the rapture was happening. The fear of God instantly brought me to my knees. I bowed my head with my arms stretched out as I pleaded with God to forgive me for any of my wrongs and not to leave me here. I heard booming from above and saw portals in the distance opening. A woman calmly walked up beside me while looking up. As I was still pleading with God, I had a quick vision of an explosion behind me that looked like a mushroom cloud. I screamed, "Take me, God." Then closer portals opened in the sky. They were a bluish purple with many stars in them and a chromatic overlay. They had rings of fire around them. What I saw was not earthly and is still hard to describe. A light shone on the lady beside me. Her legs and arms went back, her chest stuck out, and she began to float up. A bit of dread came over me, and I said to God one last time, "Please don't leave me here." At that moment, a light shone on me. I screamed in excitement as I felt my feet float off the ground. A white cloud filled with light and a holographic rainbow-looking fire came rushing in. It consumed the woman beside me. She disintegrated and her spirit went off and up. The cloud hit me and I blacked out. While I was blacked out, I could hear myself asking what just happened and if I was alive. I couldn't open my eyes until the third try. It was 3:50 a.m. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and I was pacing back and forth in my room. I went into prayer and worship, thanking the Lord and repenting. I was brought to tears and felt a strong sense of urgency. I could still feel the presence of God. I then heard the Holy Spirit repeatedly say, "There's no more time. Time is up." Jesus did not allow me to remember our conversation, but I look forward to knowing when I see him again. Let this experience be a reminder to all of us to be like the 5 wise virgins, and to stay on the narrow path. Love God with all your heart and love others. Shalom. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the story and that it inspired you in some way. I believe that we are all connected and that our stories are all part of a larger story. When we share our stories with each other, we build bridges of understanding and compassion. We also remind each other that we are not alone and that we are all in this together. So please, share your story with us as we share to the world. It could be near-death experience, spiritual encounter, rapture dream, and more. It may just inspire someone else to do the same. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. In addition, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join my community. Love you much.